Has makes a U-turn to get back with Meg as he can't afford to pay the bills, who lives at a toxic plot. For 7 years it was Prince Harry and Meghan Markle against the world. They used to be inseparable, but this summer things started to change, says a source. It's no secret that they've been having some growing pains. It's definitely been a rough year. Despite the massive success of his memoir Spare in January, the tide soon started to turn. In May, the pair were accused of exaggerating a run-in with the paparazzi in New York City. And the next month, they were labelled grifters by a Spotify executive after their multi-million-dollar deal with the streamer went belly up. Experts complained they also had little to show for their $100 million Netflix collaboration. Harry and Meghan have lost a lot of momentum and the goodwill they had in Hollywood, and their production company has even been called a flop, notes the source. And though they continue to put up a united front publicly, behind closed doors the tension between them is insane. Meghan blames Harry for the mess they're in, and they're constantly fighting about money and failed projects. To that end, they've needed some time apart. There's no doubt they've been living separate lives. That's bad news for Harry, who left his entire life behind in the UK for his soulmate. All he really has now is Meghan. It would be devastating to lose her too, says the source, adding that the prince is desperate to repair the damage, has been begging her for a second chance, to prove to her that this whole thing can work, although he filed divorce papers earlier. He's regretting it now because he has nowhere to return to. But Meghan's getting advice that it's better to distance herself from him for the sake of revitalising her own career, says the source. This is a man who's been sheltered and managed all his life. He likely actually needs someone to tell him what to do and where, or otherwise he'd just sit around in his streaked grey underpants, getting stoned and eating takeout and playing video games. And that worked for him when his job was being royal. Now, however, he has bills to pay, kids, and a hired dollar hoe to support, and no real job skills or endless source of cash. So yeah, he's desperate to make nice with mummy Meghan, because otherwise he might have to grow up and function like a real adult. I used to firmly believe these two would divorce before the 5-year mark. I don't anymore believe that they will. They'll just throw out articles talking about their marital troubles to gain more supporters, or be in the news and be miserable and toxic together. Harry ignored everyone in his life and ran full steam ahead to the altar. He doesn't want to have to come home and admit his mistake. Meghan isn't leaving him until she has a billionaire on the line, feels her brand is ready to be free of him. He starts rebelling against her control, or she gets completely bored of him. She doesn't even pretend to gaze adoringly at him anymore, so definitely something is up. I used to believe hard that she won't discard him before she snaps up a billionaire, but her reputation is absolutely and completely in the gutter now. Even Getty allegedly ran away from her. Who'll want to marry her? No billionaire. Most billionaires don't reach where they have without real smarts and cunning, unless she manages to snag a billionaire's son perhaps.